It's a mashup. We're combining Oath of Druids plus Beseech Storm and Vintage, and I believe that it's the perfect post-ban fix. Let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. Thank you for joining me in this late night vintage league. I am Bryant Cook, and today we're combining Oath of Druids with Beseech the Mirror Storm. So if you're unaware, Urza Saga was restricted. Same thing with Vexing Bauble, so you're only allowed to play with one of those cards in vintage now. And that was kind of problematic for Beseech the Mirror, because Urza Saga was the backup pivot plan. If your opponent locked you out of the game with an Archon of Emeria, you could just win the game using Urza Saga construct tokens. And when this deck lost it, it not only lost the backup plan, it lost cards that you could bargain away with Beseech the Mirror. So it was a huge hit. Well, I believe that Oath of Druids is now the perfect pivot plan. So like Urza Saga, it's an enchantment that you can sacrifice to the bargain of Beseech the Mirror. Okay. On top of that, it gives you the beatdown plan again with Atraxa Grand Unifier. But Atraxa gives you that look at the top 10, put a card of each type to your hand, which actually helps you cast a lethal Tendrils of Agony. So you might be saying, if Urza Saga is restricted, why aren't you playing any? Well, if you're going to play Oath of Druids, you have to make a couple concessions in your mana base, like playing Tropical Island and Forbidden Orchard. Okay, that makes sense. So like you just didn't have room for Urza Saga, pretty much. On top of that, we're playing Oko Theif of Crowns over cards like Dress Down because it creates creatures that then would trigger your Oath of Druids. Speaking of that, we have Into the Floodmaw on the sideboard, so you can cast this and gift a tapped fish to your opponent, giving them a creature to then trigger the Oath of Druids, which I think is a really nice fix. So today, we're combining two classic vintage decks into one, and hopefully doing plenty of comboing off. I hope you enjoyed my deck tech. If you have any thoughts, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. I would love to hear from you. But for now, we're going to go cast some Black Lotuses, Beseech the Mirror's, Yawgmoth's Will, and Oath of Druids. I'll see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. We don't actually have a payoff spell yet, but we have Forcible blue card, and if I draw, a reasonable card here or there, we're in a good spot. So I'm going to choose to try it. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. Plus, when you're on the draw in Vintage, opening up with a Force of Will and a blue card means that you're guaranteed almost an extra turn. So that is a concern of just keeping it an average hand without Force of Will and dying on a mulligan. Grief, exiling, cling to dust. Okay, sure. They take my Gitaxian Probe. Underground Sea. Reanimate. We have been vintage scammed. They have 2 cards left in their hand now. They take my Yawgmoth's Will. Come on, tinker off the top rope. I suppose we'll take a Force of Will. Play the Mox Ruby. Play the Soul Ring. Pass the turn. They attack with Grief. We'll go to 17. Well, they put a creature into play, so Oath of Druids is live. They fetch with Scalding Tarn. 2 cards in hand. Or a Time Walk. Yep, I'm not going to Force of Will a Time Walk. All that is here is an Explore plus 3 damage. They play Ponder. They did not shuffle. Wasteland, 1 card left in their hand. I'll fall to 14 life. We find Oko. Pretty good. I do need to draw a green mana source, though. Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm going to Force of Will this one. So they'll attack for 3, and I will go to 10. Mox Sapphire doesn't do it. We will pass. They play Black Lotus, 1 card left in their hand. It could be a hard-cast Force of Will, based on them willing to play out the Black Lotus. We drew Tropical Island, but I think it might be a turn too late now. Play the Oko Theif of Crowns, and it is a hard-cast Force of Will. Brutal. They destroy my Tropical Island, and I go to 4. So I get 1 more turn after this draw. Okay, so if I draw Beseech the Mirror, we're in luck, because we finally drew a black mana, but I have to draw Beseech the Mirror. Demonic Tutor will not do it. I mean, Yawgmoth's Will is in the graveyard, or else Demonic Tutor would do it. but we'll see what happens. Psychic Frog. Come on, deck. Pretty please. Let's see it. Off the top rope. Mana Crypt. Nope. Alright, so our deck did not really function that game, but hopefully it does better in the next one. Let's shrink this down so we can actually see what we're doing here. Do I even want to sideboard? I don't think I do. I think our deck is already set up. Let's try it again. On the play for game number 2. Yeah, this is good. We will keep Tropical Island, pass the turn. So I don't want to play the Ancestral because I have the Flusterstorm that could protect it. I'm going to allow that to happen. They play a Mox Jet. We'll play the Island. Pass the turn. I still think I'm supposed to sit on the Ancestral. They play Wasteland. So this is dangerous because if I want to Ancestral, I could lose to a Force of Negation because they're going to Wasteland me and then I will want to Ancestral in response. Interesting. They didn't waste me, so they could have Orcish Bowmasters. I think I want to Ancestral before... Like, I'm playing in a Bowmasters here, but before they have blue mana. And they did not respond. Okay. And it looks like they don't have blue mana at all. Oath of Druids. Let's play Forbidden Orchard. Oath of Druids. Is it better to Flusterstorm or... It's probably better to Flusterstorm here. And then we'll Flusterstorm the Force of Will. They Force of Will pitching Flusterstorm, targeting, and now we can Force of Will their Force of Will pitching Atraxa. And our opponent concedes. Nice. Let's give it a go. Unfortunately, we can't keep this. If this hand had a Mox in it or another land, I would have kept. We'll take a mulligan. I mean, this is pretty good. We'll keep bottom the Atraxa. Okay. Mox Sapphire into Ponder. They shuffled off the Ponder. Underground Sea. Grief exiling Troll of Khazad-dûm. And now they can discard either my Oko or my Ancestral Recall. I mean, they could discard whatever they want, but these are likely the two picks. And it's probably going to be the Ancestral. It is. No Reanimate this time. Another Forbidden Orchard. We'll play Mox Jet. Play the Forbidden Orchard. Pass the turn. Brainstorm. They play Scalding Tarn and Reanimate on the Grief. That hurts. They have 2 cards left in their hand. This is likely going to take the Oko. And it does. Okay. My best draw by far is like Black Lotus here. Misty Rainforest. I'll just play the Forbidden Orchard and we can pass. They redraw the card that they brainstormed back. So they wanted the card on top. They attack for 3. We'll go to 17. Grafdigger's Cage. That's brutal. That's going to shut off the Oath of Druids and the Yawgmoth's Will and Bolas' Citadel. I mean, this Grafdigger's Cage just might be lights out. Into Psychic Frog. Okay. And we draw another Forbidden Orchard. We have one more Oko in the deck that could free everything up. They swing for 4. And now they'll draw a card. Demonic Tutor. Yeah. I mean, we're seeing the benefits of playing Sculpting here. Ponder, Brainstorm. Our opponent is getting to do more actions, but also they're able to sculpt their hand, where our deck is a lot of really powerful cards, but no sculpting, so our draws are a lot more clunky. We'll take a draw. An Oath of Druids, it doesn't really work. Let's see if we can get them to counter it, though. Play the Oath. Okay, they let it resolve. I wonder if we can get to the point where we just start hard casting Atraxas. 5 mana right now, 6 with Lórien revealed. Time Walk? Yeah, I mean, they just probably Demonic Tutored for that, and I'm dead here to them discarding their hand. So that is GG. We are now 1-0 to start off this vintage league. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. For round number 2, we're on the draw. I've opened up quite the hand. We will keep. Our opponent plays a basic island into Mox Emerald. Black Lotus. You have a Time Vault. They have 3 cards left in their hand. We draw another Oath of Druids. I am going to pass just because I don't want to Ancestral Recall and then immediately discard all the cards. In their upkeep, let's Ancestral. They Force of Will pitching Lórien revealed. I will Force of Will exile Lórien revealed. They have 1 card. Ancestral Recall. Okay. They just draw a card and pass. Vampiric Tutor. Tutor. I think I am going to just pass here. On the end step, we can Vampiric Tutor for Forbidden Orchard. They play Ponder. That's fine. They did not shuffle. All right, end step, we will fetch, grab Underground Sea, Vampiric Tutor. Grab the Forbidden Orchard. We'll play it. Tap it for a green. Give them a spirit. Oath of Druids. They forcible exiling Hull Breacher. They draw back up to 2 cards in hand. They play a Tundra. They swing for 1. Ouch. Mox Jet. Play Tolarian Academy. Oath of Druids. This one resolves. Pass. And our opponent concedes. Love it. So one thing that is absent from our deck is a copy of Beseech. A lot of traditional Oath of Druid decks play it. I couldn't justify squeezing it into our 13 land mana base. Maybe you cut the Tolarian Academy for a Beseech if you want one, but I struggled to find room for it. So I am now wondering if I should be bringing it into the Flood Maw a little bit more aggressively due to that Grafdigger's Cage in match number 1, or if I just rely on Oko being my answer. I think I'm going to just let it go for now. It might be the wrong choice, but it's what I'm going to try. Yeah, we will keep this. Double protected turn 1 Oath of Druids plus creature, Mox Jet. You can have a Time Vault, I do not care. We'll play Forbidden Orchard, play Black Lotus, sacrifice for blue, tap for green, turn 1 Oath of Druids. Okay. So now we just need to survive. They play Flooded Strand. Fragmentize. I will Force of Will, exile Lórien Revealed. They fetch in response. They have Flusterstorm. Bummer. Okay. I mean, we opened up with the nuts, but it was not good enough. Goodbye to Oath of Druids. We will take 1. They have 2 cards left in their hand here. We draw another Lórien Revealed. We'll take 1. I'll go to 17. Since he's divining top, that's not a bad draw. And we'll pass. Containment Priest. We could still Tendrils of Agony and win through a Containment Priest. They attack. End step, we will spin the top. None of these are actually very good. I mean, in theory, you could try to set up a Yawgmoth's Will to replay Black Lotus into Citadel, but it's like very slow. I think I'm actually going to shuffle using the Lórien Revealed. Tap the Forbidden Orchard, give them another spirit, cycle the Lórien Revealed. We will grab an Underground Sea. In our upkeep, let's use the top. Okay, that's decent. We'll take the Time Walk, play Underground Sea, and now we should be drawing Demonic Tutor, and then we'll play Demonic Tutor. Okay, so what does a winning game look like? We're about to be hit for 4 next turn down to 10. I mean, I could get Tinker and have Flusterstorm back up, but my top will be gone. Could also just go for Ancestral Recall, which isn't terrible. Yeah, let's grab Ancestral. In their upkeep, let's try Ancestral Recall. They have Flusterstorm. I am just getting destroyed here. So I could Flusterstorm back, but the problem is that they have mana open. So my Flusterstorm is not good enough. And now they have Tolarian Academy, so I doubt that this Flusterstorm is ever going to be good enough. All right, I'm at 10. On their end step, let's give them another spirit. We'll spin the top. We have successfully found Tinker. I do have to get rid of my top, though. And I'm at 10 life. The odds are not in my favor here. All right. Tinker. Force of Negation. I guess I lied. This Flusterstorm will be good enough here. Flusterstorm your Force of Negation. We'll grab Bolas' Citadel at 10 life. The top card is Gitaxian Probe. We'll go to 9. And then our top card is Force of Will. That is not going to be good enough. We lose game number 2. So maybe I do want into the Flood Maw with Containment Priest too, but Containment Priest has Flash, so a bounce spell's not even good. Let's just try it again. I will say this, if the entire league is Grafdigger's Cage and Containment Priest, I am feeling less excited about the Oath plan. I mean, this is very good. Do you bait with the Oath of Druids? Like, that's a question I have here. Black Lotus, Mox Jet, play the Sol Ring, cycle a Lórien Revealed. We'll grab Tropical Island. Oath of Druids? Okay, that resolved. What about Tinker? No, Tinker didn't resolve. So they let the Oath go, though, so that means they probably have another Fragmentize. And they do. Brutal. We draw Atraxa. Not a good hit. Not a good hit at all. They Fragmentize my Sol Ring. We will cycle Lórien Revealed. I'm getting destroyed here. They still have 3 cards in their hand. We'll play the Underground Sea and pass. If this is what Vintage is all about, I don't want to be playing Oath of Druids. Okay, we'll just play lands and pass. Containment Priest. They draw back up to 3 cards. They play land number 4. I'll take it. 18. Forbidden Orchard. We'll play that. Pass. Atraxa costs 7. We have 5 mana right now. Another Containment Priest. So if I draw a Mana Crypt, we could play the Atraxa next turn. I go to 14. Oko, Theif of Crowns. We'll play out the Mox Ruby so I don't lose to a Spell Pierce. I have to imagine they have a counter spell here, though. We'll play Oko. We'll plus on the Mox Ruby. Pass the turn. They fetch with land number 5. Does this say Hardcast Lórien revealed? It is. They're back up to 4 cards in hand. Hopefully my Oko can take over this game. We'll plus the Oko here. Play Scalding Tarn and pass. Brainstorm. They play Mox Sapphire. Okay. Oko looking like it's going to go unchecked. Let's attempt to fetch land in my upkeep. I don't really want to draw any more lands. We'll grab the Tropical. Dark Ritual. Does that allow me to hardcast Atraxa? We'll turn our food into an elk. It does. I believe it does. I can hardcast Atraxa. They would have to have another Force of Will here. Green, blue, black. Let's go. Hardcast Atraxa. Come on, you don't want to force this. Come on, just let it resolve. And they Force of Will. They could have hardcast it here and they didn't. We will pass. Instead they flash in a Hull Breacher. Another Dark Ritual. So I could exchange control of an elk and the Hull Breacher, but then I believe that they could swing out and my Oko would die. And I don't think I want that to happen. So we'll create another food token. Pass the turn. They play Mox Ruby. So now I could exchange control of the food token and the Hull Breacher. We'll pass the turn. Yeah, it looks like Oko is just going to take over this game. Like, I don't know what our opponent's outs are here. We draw a Lórien revealed. We'll create a food token. Dark Ritual. Lórien revealed. They fetch in response. And they have another Hull Breacher. Okay. Neither of us are allowed to draw cards. All the mana in the world. We will pass. Our opponent uses the food token. They're going to swing out. Everybody at Oko. We'll let Oko take 3 and wipe their board. I don't know if that was a good attack. They must have their reasons, but I don't see it. We'll turn this food token into an elk, and we'll attack them for 6. Pass the turn. And now they play defense. We'll create another food. Attack them for 9. Play out the Misty Rainforest. Pass the turn. I think we're going to let Oko take 4 here. So I guess what I learned this match is if you want to be playing Oath, you really have to be playing 3 copies of Oko. The list that I used is okay, so I found a really old deck list that did something similar, and I mean very old. But that deck list only had 2 Okos, and it was pretty different. Like, it was so old that it was pre-Beseech the Mirror. And I was like, okay, well, if that one only has 2 Okos, maybe this one will work. And I think with all the, Containment Priest and Grafdigger's Cage, maybe you do just want 3 copies of Oko, Theif of Crowns, so maybe this does have legs. Let's stick around and find out if we win the next 3. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Alright, time for the 3rd round. We're on the play this time. I mean, I want to keep this. Let's do it. So I could turn 1 the Oath of Druids. My concern is that if our opponent's on a creature deck, they don't then play a creature. And if I wait a turn, I could have Fluster's from backup if they're on a blue deck. So I'm going to wait. Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. Yikes. And they're on Dredge, Hollow One. They have 5 cards in their hand. We draw Atraxa Grand Unifier number 2. Not what I wanted to happen. Our Oath of Druids quickly resolves. Icarid trigger. They dredge. There's 1 Cabal Therapy in there. They also had a Dread return, and now the Prized Amalgams will trigger. They dredge return, hitting another Force of Will. Oh no, Bazaar of Baghdad number 2? You gotta be kidding me here. Disgusting. Alright, so they have no copies of Force of Will. They did hit another Cabal Therapy and a Bridge from Below. We're going to take 7 down to 10 life. We only have 1 Atraxa left in our deck. So my fear here is with only 1 Atraxa, we're not going to be able to race our opponent with the Atraxa, and if we mill both the Tendrils of Agony and the Yawgmoth's Will, I'm not going to be able to win the game. They have 1 more Cabal Therapy they can play here. This one is going to resolve. Let's see what they name. Time Walk. I mean, that's a reasonable one. And now they get a bunch of prized amalgams. All right, Oath of Druids. Yes, I would like to use Oath of Druids. Thank you. There's the Yawgmoth's Will. I don't see Tendrils of Agony. So you're saying there's a chance. Beseech the Mirror, Black Lotus. Okay. Time Walk. A Bolas' Citadel. We want Time Walk. I want the Underground Sea. We want the Black Lotus.
Okay. I found this on the web. For what time I want the underground?
No. Sorry about that. My phone decided that it was going to eavesdrop. All right, so I guess if I take the Time Walk, it's actually not... Time Walk might not be the answer. I think it's Beseech the Mirror. And then the Oko. Okay, so we'll take these. I believe that this is what we want to do. And now we'll draw for turn. We drew a land. Okay. Our opponent is at 23. What does a winning game look like here? I guess we'll play the Underground Sea, play Dark Ritual. We'll play the Black Lotus. There's 2 Beseech the Mirrors in the graveyard, so I cannot chain them into lethal. Was I supposed to just take the Time Walk? Did I mess up? We'll bargain the Oath of Druids. Storm is only 3. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing here. I was thinking that I could get Tinker into Citadel, and then I never checked my graveyard for Tinker. So I think I just botched this turn. We'll grab Time Walk. I really messed this up. I shouldn't... I guess sacking the Oath didn't matter because I don't have another creature anyway. And then we'll play the Oko Theif of Crowns. We'll turn our Mox Ruby into a creature, and then we'll go to the next turn. Yeah, I did not play this game that well. We draw Force of Will, which doesn't really help me here. We'll create a food token. Swing with the Atraxa. Pass the turn. Now they have 3 Icarids that will trigger. I'll hide my graveyard. They have a Gristlebrand in their graveyard. Ah, they play Thassa's Oracle. I didn't know that Vintage Dredge was playing Thassa's Oracle now. So I guess we're just dead. Because they can Cabal Therapy for Force of Will, and then Dread Return on the Thassa's Oracle. That's new to me. I mean, I didn't know that that was a possibility. Okay, they hit another Chill and another Dread Return. So I'm super dead here. We'll go to blocks. So this is 9, 15, 17 coming in. I guess I'll gain 3 life. All our opponent has to do here is double Dread Return. They dredge. They play Dread Return on the Oracle. And they still have another in the graveyard, so I'm just going to concede. And now we can go to the post-board game. We'll bring in Needle. I think we want Sphinx of the Steel Wind. And Leyline of the Void. 67. I can't but wonder if I should just board out the Storm package. This is 59. Maybe keeping the Yawgmoth's Will? I'm not sure about that. Maybe bring in a Mind Break instead? We'll try this out. On the play, with a hand with no mana. So this is turn 1 Oath with Force backup. Atraxa goes on the bottom. Play the Oath. We'll play Mox Sapphire. I'm sorry, play the Forbidden Orchard. Mox Sapphire. And now we give them a Spirit token, Oath of Druids. They Force a Will. We will Force a Will back. Oath of Druids. A Bazaar of Baghdad. So they hit a Cabal Therapy, so that way they can attack and then sacrifice their creature. So I want... Oh wait, you didn't sacrifice your spirit? Okay. I feel like that was a misplay, but I'll take it. Oath of Druids. Yes. We hit the Atraxa. Okay, so... What do we mill? Bolas' Citadel... And the Yawgmoth's Will. Ancestral Recall, that's a good one. Leyline of the Void is free to take here. So is the Mox Ruby, Underground Sea, and Lórien revealed. And now we get to draw for turn. Mental Misstep. Play the Underground Sea. Let's attempt Sensei's Divining Top. I'm worried about playing into like a Mind Break trap here, but I'm going to just play the Ancestral. It resolved. We'll play Mox Ruby. Let's look at our top 3. There's a Force of Will hiding out on top. We will pass. So I did have the thought of why not just hardcast Leyline of the Void. I was concerned about a counterspell or Force of Vigor. Both of those things would have been pretty bad. And I don't think I'm dead this turn. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. So that is why I did not hardcast the Leyline. Our opponent dredges, a lot of bridge from belows. They Cabal Therapy. We will Mental Misstep that. And then the Icarid sacrifices, and they're going to get 2 zombies here. I don't know if I want to trigger the Atraxa or not. I kind of want the Force of Will that's on top. You know what? Let's do it anyway. And I got what I wanted. I wanted the Sphinx. It all worked out. And we hit Flusterstorm. So now we can protect the Leyline. We'll give them a Spirit token. Play Leyline of the Void. And now we will attack. We are in a very good spot here. Our opponent activates the Bazaar of Baghdad. Keep in mind, there is a Leyline in play. So all these cards that they discard will now go straight to exile. They discard Bridge from Below, Icarid, and a Golgari Thug. On their end step, we will activate the Sensei's Divining Top. I believe that Time Walk is a good card. We'll put that one on top. And our opponent concedes. Sweet. No changes. Well, this is quite the hand. We will keep Leyline of the Void plus turn 1 Oath of Druids with Force backup. Granted, we don't have a creature, but our opponent might just put a Hollow One into play. In our upkeep, they activate the Bazaar. I mean, they're playing Hollow One. I think that they should be activating in their main phase. They discard Golgari Thug, Creeping Chill, and a Cabal Therapy. I don't want to play the Mana Crypt yet, so I'm going to pass. My concern is that without a way to give them a creature, this Mana Crypt might kill me, so I'm going to just play it a little bit slow. They activate the Bazaar. Grief. I think I just have to let this resolve. And now I feel a little bit foolish, but oh well. They take Force of Will. Well, I'm glad I didn't force the Grief, because that's what I was considering. Blusterstorm. Okay, we will pass. My plan is now I want to hardcast this Lórien revealed. They have 3 cards in their hand. Mana Crypt, we'll choose Tails. We win the flip. Time Walk. We're gonna hardcast the Lórien and hope for the best. Force of Vigor. We will Force of Will, exile the Time Walk, and our opponent concedes the match. Alright, we are now 2-1. You're still watching. Make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, our opponent has exiled a Force of Will, so there's only 1 in their deck, and we have a turn 1 win. I'm going to choose to keep this. They've taken a mulligan to 5, now down to 4. Okay, they kept their 4-card hand, Bazaar of Baghdad. So they're going to have 2 cards left. We need them to not be Force of Will or a blue card. It's a Hollow One. Okay, I can only think of 1 card in their deck that stops me in the main deck here. I'm just going to say it out loud even though you're not supposed to. Mental Misstep. Dark Ritual. We'll play Mox Ruby. Play the Soul Ring. This is just a deterministic kill here. We'll Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, getting rid of the Mox Ruby. So we could also just do Tinker into Citadel. Or I can Yawgmoth's Will Loop. I guess I didn't even need to bargain here because my plan was to get Black Lotus. I don't know why I bargained. I guess I could get Dark Ritual, but then I can't even play Dark Ritual, so it should be the Black Lotus. So I shouldn't have bargained. I could double down on my mistake and get a Tinker. I think you're supposed to just get the Black Lotus. Like, except that I wasn't supposed to bargain. Except for the fact that I could replay the Mox Ruby from the graveyard. We'll play the Tropical Island, sacrifice for black, play Yawgmoth's Will, Black Lotus, Mox Ruby, Dark Ritual, Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrifice the Mox Ruby, and Tendrils of Agony. Boom! Sweet. Turn 1 win. So our opponent doesn't know that we're an Oath deck, which is good. We'll bring in Pithing Needle, Leyline of the Void, Sphinx of the Steel Wind. I didn't board out Citadel before. I feel like I probably was supposed to sideboard out Bolas' Citadel if I was boarding out the Storm package. Maybe Bolas' Citadel is better than the options I have to bring in, though. I could also try not boarding out the Storm package and just, like, keeping it in. The problem is that I'm at 66 cards, which is a lot. I'm going to board it out. So we'll bring out Dark Ritual, Beseech the Mirror. We're at 60 right now, but I still have a Tendrils and a Citadel in my deck. I think the Citadel is passable, and I'm not even sure how good the Mindbreak Trap really is. Unless you get into like a really big counter war. We will try this. Like, you could... Like, another thought is, like, if you bring in Force of Vigor for the games where they open up on double Hollow One, but I'm not sure if that's worthwhile either. Like, I'm just not a vintage expert. Like, I play the format a handful plus times a year trying to prepare for Eternal Weekend, and that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so they exiled some cards. We'll keep this. Maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to. I think just like mulliganing for Leyline of the Void probably isn't very smart. Bazaar of Baghdad. I'm going to Force Will the Grief. I think we need this Brainstorm. They also have Force backup for the Grief. So they're going to see that we're an Oath deck. I thought about, like, should we concede and keep the surprise for game 3? I don't think the surprise is worth that much. They do take my Brainstorm. And then they activate the Bazaar of Baghdad. Gets rid of Force and Negation, Creeping Chill, and a Stinkweed Imp. They had a very good 7. And we draw another Forbidden Orchard. Okay. If we could have drawn a Pithing Needle there, we stood a chance, but we didn't. Pithing, Pithing, whatever you'd like to call it. That wasn't too bad. So we get another decent draw step here. They're going to Dredge. They get a Narc Amoeba. Come on, Oath of Druids off the top rope. Let's see it. Force of Will. We'll play the Forbidden Orchard and pass. They Dredge for their draw for the turn. Double Grief and an Icarid. They attack for 1. I'll go to 18. and they activate the Bazaar of Baghdad. They hit another Narcomoeba and a prized Amalgam. They had a very slow draw this game, but we're not finding anything good. A way too late Leyline of the Void. I mean, I'm going to play it here. Giving my opponent 2 spirits does not feel good. No, I shouldn't show them the Leyline. That'd be silly. I've already lost this game. Let's just go to the next one. All right, let's submit. On the play for game 3. Cannot keep that. We will mulligan. This was so close. But it's not good enough. We're going to 5. I think I'm supposed to keep this. Put Time Walk Atraxa on the bottom. Play the Leyline. And I'm not going to play the Mox Jet, which might seem weird. But if they have Force of Vigor, I don't want to lose a Mox Jet. They have Bazaar. We found the Orchard. So if they have Force of Vigor here, I'm going to get blown out. Black of Green. Oath of Druids. Oh no, they didn't even activate the Bazaar. I am getting so crushed here. No. They could have activated the Bazaar looking for Force of Vigor, and they didn't, so they just have it in their hand. I guess if they had it in their hand, they would have activated before. No, I guess that doesn't matter. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore, clearly. Yeah, because the Leyline was already in play, and now they get to dredge for the Stinkweed Imp. So my best shot here is me drawing a blue source to protect this Oath of Druids, and we didn't, so I just have to pray at this point. Add a green. Oath of Druids. No. Oh. Ugh. Brutal. We lost. They had another Creeping Chill. Maybe we'll get lucky and top deck like a crazy person, but I don't see how I could possibly come back from this. Actually, I'm dead on board. I'm at 8. There's, like, realistically no draw that was going to get me out of this. I had to draw a blue source last turn. Okay, well, we got smushed. We are now 2-2. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? It's the 5th match. We have a hand that's all mana and a Beseech the Mirror that it cannot cast. We will mulligan. So we're lacking a green mana, but the rest of the hand is pretty good. I think that this one is a keeper. Bottom, Dark Ritual. Dredge again, really? The Vexing Bauble unban made everyone want to play this deck again. I guess if I'm going to play at Eternal Weekend, my sideboard needs to be ready. We will Gitaxian Probe. They have 4 cards. Mental Misstep is their only interaction here. Let's play the Black Lotus. Mock Sapphire. We're going to Brainstorm. So they have a Mental Misstep, but I can counter their Mental Misstep with my Mental Misstep. They just let it go. Interesting. I wonder if there's a win here. So hypothetically, I could put back Force of Will plus Mental Misstep, Demonic Tutor, or I could just get rid of the Oath of Druid. There's got to be a win here. So we'll play the Underground Sea, play the Mana Crypt, and now we will Time Walk. Go to our next turn. We'll take 3, tap the Underground Sea and the Mana Crypt. We will Demonic Tutor. Go grab Beseech the Mirror, and we will Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing Mana Crypt. And then we'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. We'll play it sacrificing Mock Sapphire, and then we'll grab Yawgmoth's Will. Okay, easy peasy. Storm will be 5, Storm will be 6, Storm will be 7, Gitaxian Probe again, Storm will be 8. Sure, you got it. You successfully countered a spell. Congratulations. I will now play Beseech the Mirror, bargain away the Mana Crypt, and we will select Tendrils of Agony. Target you. That is how we do. Alright, let's try to win a post-board game this time. Get rid of the Dark Rituals, Beseech the Mirror, and Tendrils of Agony. Bring in the Needles, Leyline of the Void, Sphinx of the Steelwind, and I still think it's the Mindbreak Trap. You could convince me it's supposed to be Force of Vigor, or like leaving in the Tendrils. I think like there's some argument, even though I might not agree with it. Like, I'm not actually sure the Mindbreak Trap is good. Alright, so we've opened up on Leyline of the Void and Needle with no way of protecting it, and the rest of our hand doesn't do anything. I think that this hand's like a pretty big trap. Like, yeah, you have Leyline and you have Needle, but you lose to a single Force of Vigor, and your hand does actual nothing. I'm going to mulligan. This is better. Keep. Alright, we'll put Tropical Island on the bottom. Our opponent puts in Leyline of the Void. So will we. Chalice of the Void. Okay. I mean, that's one spot where the Oath package looks pretty good. No Bazaar. Really? You kept a hand without Bazaar of Baghdad. Let's probe. And their hand is terrible. Just terrible. Aww, whoops. I'm a dummy. I realized it the second I clicked on it, too. Truly the worst. That said, I don't know how much it's going to matter here. In their upkeep, before they could possibly draw a mental misstep, we will play Vampiric Tutor. Put an Oath of Druids on the top. So these are the sort of games that the Oath package is designed in the deck to win with. Like, it's going to look really good this game, assuming our opponent didn't just draw an answer to Oath of Druids with their 4 black cards in hand. I mean, this is the spot where we wanted it, so I'm glad we get to showcase the Oath package here. I guess if they drew green card into Force of Vigor, I would cry myself to sleep tonight, but if you have it, you have it. Grief, okay. They take the Lórien Revealed. They swing, and now Oath of Druids. Let's see which large creature we get. We hit the 75% favorite. Ancestral Recall, Demonic Tutor, Mox Sapphire, Tropical Island. Pretty good. I will attempt to not play my Mox directly into the Chalice of the Void this time. I said attempt because there's no promises with me. Target myself for 3 cards here with Ancestral Recall. Play Tropical Island. 3 Leyline of the Void in hand. I think the game plan now is just make sure I don't lose. So we're going to Demonic Tutor here for Force of Will. Pass the turn. Our opponent said sweet deck, nice bait and switch. Yeah, I mean, they meant it in a nice way. They weren't being salty. They complimented the deck in game 1. But yeah, we got the 3-2. So what did I think? The Oath package, I was really concerned after the first 2 rounds. I think if we added in a 3rd Oko, it would be better. I don't know if I love the sideboard. Like, the Into the Flood mods were really for, like, the initiative style decks, and we never faced them. Maybe Force of Negation and Mindbreak Trap is too much. I think there could be something here, and my deck could be misbuilt. This was just an idea. So if you're interested in this and you have ideas on how to make it better, let me know. Put those in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. But I just wanted to try out a hybrid Storm deck tonight, something a little bit more fun. I still really, really like Doomsday for Eternal Weekend, but it's good to explore other possibilities and make sure you don't come across something even sweeter. So that's all I've got for tonight. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Keep storming. Hey, I appreciate you watching today's video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. Additionally, check out Card Market, Europe's leading card single retailer, where you can buy singles for your deck like, I don't know, the Epic Storm. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching. See ya!